We carry that in our blood, but we also carry that in our chakra, in our auric field. We carry that in our energy centers, and because we don't know who we are, we just think we are what we feel, what we see, and what we look at in the mirror and what people tell us that we are, we don't realize that the higher energetic vibration is moving through our cells, just like in a voice. There's a vibration, there's voice pattern recognition, and if you were to be interrogated by the FBI, if you'd be interrogated by the police, they have a machine that reads voice waves to be able to tell by the inflections of your voice and your tone if you're telling a lie or if you're telling the truth. They don't look at your face and just judge you. They go by the energy of your voice because they know that we are first made of rhythm and light and sound. That is where life comes from in a cell, the vibrational force field. And when a sperm collides with an egg and it starts to divide, and that cell constantly replicates and starts to divide and create other cells, and cells create tissue, and tissue create organs, and organs create body systems, and we're still dividing at this moment that we speak. That is all because of vibrations and force fields. And if the vibration is moving on the right frequency, then the cells will divide properly to give you healthy liver and 2 healthy kidneys. If the vibration is not moving properly and on the right frequency, then you will get deformities or only 1 kidney or a kidney and a half. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important that everybody knows that whether you are creating a child or whether you are the one that was created in the female womb gender to be brought here to manifest in the 3rd dimensional form, everything is dealt with the proper vibration and sound. Those cells, in order for them to talk to each other, communicate, there must be electromagnetic frequencies, and those frequencies have to communicate with each other for those cells to collide and then divide. So we are walking around first energy fields, and then we have 7 main chakras that move up and down our spine. And the first chakra, the root chakra, is at the base of your spine where your tailbone is and where your vagina is. The second chakra, and I'm going to do deeper shows on this, and I'm also writing books on this for you to be able to get at a later time to explain this in depth. The second chakra is right beneath your navel, but above the outer part of your vagina. The third one is right there in the middle of your stomach, what they call the solar plexus, or your gut, when you feel things in your gut and you get a certain sensation when you know something is wrong or something's right or somebody's not right or not. You get that sensation in that solar plexus right there. It's the third chakra. The fourth chakra is your heart chakra, dealing with your emotions. And when I say chakras, I'm talking about energy centers, energy fields. They're where our main organs are, but those are easy 7 that move up and down your spine. The fifth chakra, it deals with speech and communication, and it's that hole that you can put your finger in right there in the front of your neck, right there in your throat, and it's right above. If you go like 2 fingers down, that's where your thymus and your thyroid is, right underneath that hole. You deal with the sixth chakra right between your 2 eyes. They call that the third eye. And it's also in the region where your glands are, like your pineal, pituitary. They're up in your brain around this region, or one might be sitting a little bit further back. And then the 7th chakra is the top of your head, the crown chakra, where your soft spot, we all have the soft spot as babies, where the skull is soft and it gradually closes as we get older. That is the 7th chakra, and that's the chakra where you deal with intuition, and it goes into the higher levels of existence, your first, second, third subtle bodies. You go into your template, which actually creates the 3rd dimensional body. Okay. When we are in our mother's womb, and we are dealing with, you still have those chakras intact, but your mother has chakras. And your mother has a lot of vagina trauma and unresolved conflict from the man who got her pregnant, other unresolved conflicts, self-hatred, low self-esteem. Maybe she was raped. Maybe she had other issues with your father. All that stuff is held in her chakras, and you're connected to her through her umbilical cord and all of her cells and all of her fluids, all of her blood and your father's blood. All those things came together to create that Trinity. So when you're in her and you're basking in her womb, you are privy to all of her deepest thoughts, all of her deepest knowledge, because your vibrational field is connected to and communicating with her vibrational field. Just like if you really wanted to get deep into this, and as you become aware of vagina power and the spiritual aspect of your sexual energy, if you chose to go back and do regression, go into a deep meditation, you can actually go back into your mother's womb. You can actually travel through her umbilical cord and through the chakras in her spine. And you can actually tap into what your mother was experiencing at that time. So many of us come out already fucked up. A lot of women come out and they're depressed as little kids. They're depressed as babies and they don't know why. Because you just pulled out of a womb and a chakra system and an auric field and a whole collection of energetic fields and vibrational force fields that might have been erratic and out of balance, but now you are bone of your mother's bone and flesh of her flesh. Even if it's things you don't want, you still are connected, and that creates a vicious cycle. It's like a curse, because there are things we want from our mothers and there are things that we don't want. But we're not taught these things as little girls, so there's a detachment that we are divine. We're like walking zombies. We're actually dead to the knowledge that we are divine and that we're high vibrational spiritual beings and that we are the creators of this reality, because we are the female womb gender, and life is created in us just like death is created in us. Heaven is created in us just like hell is created in us. So we're little girls walking through life. And then if you're a little girl, your mother's not there, your father's not there, or if she's there, but she might put you down, she might beat you up. She's really not the nurturing mother that she needs to be. So your chakras, the 7 chakras that I just mentioned, are radioactive. And they're just like a tape recorder, because they're connected to your subconscious mind and your superconscious mind. So whether you all know it or not, your subconscious mind is a tape recorder that never sleeps. It never shuts down, and it believes whatever you tell it. And it believes whatever you let other people tell it. Whatever garbage and bullshit, you ain't nothing, you ain't shit, you ain't gonna never be shit, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too light, you're too dark, your hair too nappy, your hair too straight, you're too young, you're too old, you don't have enough money, you ain't gonna never accomplish this, you ain't gonna finish school, you got too little education, you got too much education, this man don't want you, you can't take care of this baby, you're a terrible mother, you'll never be a good mother, you'll never be this, never be that. You're hearing all of these things, and then the abuse, if you've been beaten up, if you've been prostituted, so many people that you thought were your friends have taken advantage of you and lied to you. All of these things, your subconscious does not know if they are true or not. What makes them true is that you internalize them and you believe them to be true, and you accept these thoughts, and then you start to live this way, and you stay in these relationships, and you allow people to say these things to you and to get away with it, and you allow them to stay in your experience, and you lay with them, and you suck them off, and you let them ejaculate in your vagina. And see, like I was saying, dealing with the vagina, that's where the first chakra is. That's the root chakra, and the color for that chakra is bright red. It's hot red. So that's everything turns on when you see the color red. So a man that hates you or disrespects you, and you travel as a little girl throughout your life and you've been beat up by the first people that are supposed to groom you and tell you all these things we are discussing now, doesn't tell you these things, and you get to that point and this man is saying these things to you, and then he's penetrating your vagina and that first chakra. So that means his first chakra is locking into your first chakra, and he's fucking you in a lie. He's fucking you into submission because he's making you believe something about yourself that is not true. And every time you allow him to put his penis in and out of your vagina, he is reinforcing the lie that he told you about himself, and you are laying there submitting to that shit, and you are accepting that lie as a truth. And many women do not realize this. When you lay with a man and you know he has abused you and degraded you and do not respect you in some way, every time he penetrates you, he's reinforcing